Good evening. I'd like to call the 22nd meeting of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland to order on Monday, November 25th. Agenda item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance led by Mayor Keith Sydnor.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor. Agenda item number 3, Ms. Green, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Clerk.
Here.
Councilwoman Johnson.
Here.
Councilman Middle.
Here.
Councilman Sydnor.
Here. Here.
Mayor Sydnor.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Agenda item number 4 is Laurel University graduation ceremony. Ms. Karine Kubek, could you please come forward? We are going to have a brief ceremony for all those that have completed many weeks of the Laurel Citizens University, where they've gone through every department in the city to have a hour to 30 minutes of briefing to learn more about what we do and potentially volunteer here in the city. Ms. Kubek, the floor is yours. If you could remember the mic. Here.
All right. First off, I've been asked to do this. You all ask and you shall receive. All right. All right, now it doesn't want to stop. So, let me say this. Thank you, class of 2024. You did it! It has been an honor and a privilege to guide you through this year's university. And the 2 words that we have always used throughout this session when I've described you is inquisitive and engaged. So thank you very much. And thank you to the Mayor and City Council for your support, and to management and staff for giving each of our residents fantastic overviews of your departments and giving them the best university experience ever. So thank you all very much. Now, all we ask, now that you're graduating, is to let your neighbors know how much you learned and encourage them to sign up for next year. And I don't know which camera is on. If it's this one, I see the red light. Those of you watching at home, if you haven't already taken advantage of this great opportunity, keep your eyes out for the next class next year. Make sure you sign up as well. So before we hand out the plaques, I would request to take a few moments at the end to move the podium so we can get a group photo. All right, and then a group photo with the mayor and council. So now it's time to graduate. Woo! We could have a few words from Mayor Keith Sydnor, please.
First of all, congratulations again. I know it's hard work, and I appreciate you guys taking this forward, stepping up to the city, learning about the city, all the wonderful things we do in the city. And I'm just grateful to have citizens like you that's concerned about the things that we do and continue to volunteer for committees, run for elections, things of that nature. Election come next year, 2025, another election 2027. You guys got an idea of what's going on in the city, and we encourage you all to participate to your fullest. With that, I'm done.
All right, so next up. So Kenneth Anthony Alston is not here at the moment, so hopefully he'll come, and we'll make sure to give him his plaque when he gets here. But next, we have Ari Baker Fox. Woo! Ari, if you could come over here, we're going to get a picture. There we go. Everybody smile. Thank you. Woo! Next is Howard Rick Barnett. Next is Christia Barnett. Perfect, thank you. Calvin Burns. Woo! Thank you. Oh, Joelle is not here. So Joelle is not here. Put that off to the side, please. Put the next one just off to the side on the table. There you go. Thank you. Next is Tia Evans. Woo! Ed. Next up is Ed Ford. Woo! Woo! Great job. Thank you. Next, we have Michelle Garcia. Woo! Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Ursula, okay, Ursula is not here. Oh, she is? There she is, Ursula. Ursula Gnan, come on up. You're the next graduate. Woo! Thank you. Woo! Next up is Jacqueline Jones. Perfect, thank you. Honorary Mayor. Next up is Rosette Ladson Edmonds. Woo! Lots of energy. Snap up. Boris? Okay, Boris is not here. Connie Lucas. Woo! All right, smile. Perfect, thank you. Rodney Presley. Woo! Got him? Yes. Okay. Next up is Adenyi Salako. Woo! There you go. Perfect, thank you. Next up is Roy M. Smith II. Hey, thank you. And finally, Mila Wilson. All right. So that is our graduating class of 2020. Oh, not yet? Okay, but are you ready? Okay, sorry, one more. Kiani Dawkins. Did your father make it? Oh, he's here, okay. Your father's here, okay. Okay, thank God, okay. And turn so you can face your father. That's who we were waiting on. Woo-woo! Congratulations. And that is our graduating class of 2024. Welcome, I'm glad you made it. Glad you made it. All right, so we're gonna move the podium aside. I'd like the class to come up. We wanna make sure that we get a group photo. And then class, for those, go
I believe
ahead.
your class has a surprise for you.
What? No.
Surprise.
Oh,
You're so fabulous. You're so fabulous. But we're not finished.
oh, shoot.
So let me give you this so I don't get too comfortable. It is my honor to speak on behalf of the class. And during this week of Thanksgiving, when you're thankful for everything, you know, we're thankful 365 days of the year, but during this week, we really think of all the things that we are thankful for. And we are so thankful for you. And we want to, and we'd like to thank you for all the hard work and dedication that you put in to setting up these Laurel Citizens University classes. I mean, the coordination, the joy, the enthusiasm, the food, let us not forget the food. We got a taste of the surrounding area. And you know, our class was very inquisitive, as you said.
Yes.
And very engaged. But when we asked a million questions, you would light up like a Christmas tree. You just really enjoyed that. But we also know that you have a very special city activity that you really give your all in all for, and that's the 4th of July celebration. Yes. So the class of 24 would like to present in your honor a check. We took up a little collection, we all chipped in. So we're presenting the city of Laurel a check for $150.02 for the 4th of July celebration.
Okay, I gotta go over here. Come on. No, this is, oh my God, guys. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Thank you. On behalf of the 4th of July Committee, thank you. Thank you, thank you. On behalf of the 4th of July Committee, thank you so much. This is going to mean the world to them, and it means the world to me. You have been the first class that I have been in charge of organizing for, and you have been a joy. And again, engaged, inquisitive. I love you all. Thank you so much. We have one more that showed up, I want to make sure. All right, so before we go, Boris Nuvi Long. No? No? Kenneth? Kenneth? All right. Kenneth Anthony Alston. Woo! All right, so I'm going to move this off to the side. And class, before you leave, make sure when you step out the door, go through where you would be going to the restrooms, the front desk. I have a little gift for you there as well, okay? All right, can we all get up here so we can get a picture? There we go. All right. Everybody say graduates! Graduates! Love it. Everybody got the picture they need? Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, everybody, thank you.
Congratulations, Corinne.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
We'll take just a few more seconds as they finalize their photos.
Thank you again, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations on your graduation. Agenda item number 5, approval of the minutes from November 4th, 2024 regular meeting, November 13th, 2024 special meeting, and the November 13th, 2024 closed session. Are there any additions, comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
President Kole, I motion that we approve the minutes from the November 4th, November 13th special meeting, and November 13th closed session.
I have a motion. Do I have a
Mr.
second?
President, I'll second that.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes?
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes for November 4th meeting, and I abstain from November 13th meetings.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item number 6, report of the mayor and city council. Tonight, we will start with Ms. Clark.
Thank you, President Kole. It's been a very busy 2 weeks. Since our last meeting, I will share only a few items because we did a lot of things together. I attended the Maryland Municipal League's Fall Conference, MML, from November 6th to the 8th with a few of my fellow council members and city staff in Cambridge, Maryland. Each day was filled with opportunities to meet other municipal leaders, learn from each other, and learn about grant and funding opportunities in our region. On that Saturday, the 9th, I also attended the city's Veterans Appreciation Breakfast, honoring all who served at the Partnership Hall. It was such a powerful experience to see so many of our community members receive recognition for their unforgettable service. On Monday, Veterans Day, I spent time on the morning of the 11th with Anne Marie Miller and the American Rosie the Riveter Association in support of our World War II veterans with the spirit of 76. Thank you to their association for planting the roses around City Hall in honor of all of the women who served and supported World War II. During that afternoon, I also spent time with community veterans and active duty members at Mission Barbecue in Ward 2 at the Laurel Town Center. My grandfather served in the war. I and my family understand firsthand the effects that come with serving. Spending time supporting veterans on a day-to-day basis as a regional representative on behalf of U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, while she served on the U.S. Senate Armed Affairs Committee, I have seen the stories and helped to find solutions for more veterans than I can count. Simply said, thank you for your service. For the next 6 days, I attended the National League of Cities Summit Conference, where I spoke with vendors about their innovative products in the expo hall, learned about federal funding opportunities, and met committee members from the 2 committees that I am a part of, the National Black Caucus of Elected Leaders and Public Safety and Crime Prevention. I am drafting a report of the innovative ideas other cities are doing that align with our residents' desires and our city needs. Also during that time, I interviewed with 3 news channels, sharing more about the city of Laurel and how we are working together to advance opportunities in our region. You can view the full interviews on my social media pages. On the 13th and 19th, I attended meetings with the Tears at Laurel Lake members. And on the 20th, I attended Councilmember Tom Dernoga's community conversation with Prince George's County's newest public schools board member-elect for District 1, Dr. Tiffany Anderful at the Laurel Branch Library, plus the Zeta Phi Beta and more Thanksgiving community giveaway here at the city, at City Hall, and the Laurel Town Center tree lighting. One last mention, while at the Laurel Branch Library for Councilmember Dernoga's event, I delivered 3 books written by the Laurel History Boys in Laurel, Maryland. Over the past few months, I have been speaking with the Prince George's County Library System, brainstorming together how we can get more Laurel authors in our library system, and to have a special tower to recognize and highlight these local authors in the Laurel Branch Library. A big thank you to Karina for all of her time and collaboration on getting the Laurel History Boys books and others in our library system. Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Mr. Simmons?
Thank you, President Kole. As Councilwoman Clark shared, shortly after the last council meeting, which was on November 4th, we went to the Maryland Municipal League, and it was great to be further equipped in my role as a councilman, to be briefed on the latest happenings at the state level, and also to connect with scores of other municipal leaders around the state. One of which actually was the mayor from Berwyn Heights, and she and I were able to connect a little bit about what's going on with the PG County fire system, the fact that the PG County Fire Service is being reallocated among the county, and it's affecting service to different cities and municipalities in the area. So the county did hold an information session on November 14th, which I advertised out to folks. If you weren't able to attend, but you're interested to learn more about that, if you go to my site, adrianforlaurel.org, just search for fire, you can see a video of that community event, continuing to monitor its impact on here in Laurel. On the 11th of November, it was my honor to join with other members of the community to place flags at the gravestone of deceased veterans at the historic Ivy Hill Cemetery. And it was really a great reminder. It was beautiful weather that day, but it was a great reminder to be out there, and also encouraging to see other residents in the community sort of taking a moment out of their day. If it's not something you've done in the past, I encourage you to maybe next year mark it down in your calendar. I guarantee you won't regret it. It was a great moment of reflection, and thank you to all veterans for their service. This past week, I had two committee meetings, the Disability Committee meeting and the Education Committee meeting. We had some technical difficulties on the disability where one member wasn't able to quite connect in, but we were able to talk to all the members, share updates. This is the first meeting we've been able to have in a couple of years, actually, so we're rebooting the committee. And great to have those existing members. Thank you for their service. We're looking forward to the next one on February 19th. Also looking to talk through some of the ideas that we covered on Tuesday as well. The Education Committee ended a little bit early, so I was able to make it here for the Tiers at Laurel Lakes, a community meeting. Thank you for the mayor and for members of staff for making that meeting possible, and I think a lot of good information was shared. And certainly reach out to the degree we can continue to be an assistance. It was also a blessing this past week to be part of the Blessing Basket organized by Mike Mondi, and in a very small way. But I wanted to thank him personally for this great effort and for all those. It's really been encouraging this time of year, not just that, but for many other around the city, folks coming out to support our neighbors, our community members through whether it's a church drive, whether it's a nonprofit organization and others. So I really want to encourage folks to continue that spirit of giving and Thanksgiving. And to that end, this Thursday is the Laurel Advocacy and Referral Services Turkey Trot. So come on out. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to start the day by giving to others in need. It makes your turkey and gravy taste better later in the day. I guarantee it. And even after the race, you can take your race bib to Ragamuffins on Main Street and they'll give you a free drip coffee. So it's a deal that can't be beat, in my opinion. So you can go to my site or Lars's site to sort of sign up for Thursday. There's still time. And lastly, one item that's gaining momentum, just to put on people's radar, at MML, we were briefed on the coming state budget crunch, projected to be $2 billion this coming year, going up to 6 and maybe 8 in the coming few years. So we're monitoring the effect that might have on the highway user revenues and the bond bill money, which is money the city uses and relies on. So at the city level, also as residents, I encourage you to keep tabs on because there is talk about potentially raising taxes this session. So you may want to be in contact with your state representative on that front. That's all I have. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. Councilwoman Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. For my report, I'd just like to start by thanking the mayor, city council, administration, staff, neighbors, and friends for their heartfelt condolences for the passing of my mother-in-law, Dr. Linda Faye Horn. Although she was originally from Farmville, North Carolina, she was trying her best to make Laurel her home, and she's been living here with our family. So we tried to help her find a place in her new community. She was very active. She'd drive into the grocery store for as long as she could, going with me to women's club meetings, helping me campaign, and even visiting the community garden as she loved to garden herself. So you've probably seen her around with me in other places. But sadly, she was laid to rest in her hometown and will be greatly missed. So on a similar note, I would like to acknowledge that November is National Caregivers Month, National Family Caregivers Month. It is an ideal time to recognize the value of family caregivers, support their efforts, and plan for the challenges and opportunities ahead as people live longer lives. So for the activities that I participated in throughout this time frame on November 11th, 2 days following her funeral, which was a little hard for my family, but my husband, my son, and I participated in laying the flags on the graves of the veterans at Ivy Hill Cemetery because we felt that was important to do. And then later that evening, I attended a meeting with the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus to discuss the municipal vendor services. On Saturday, November 16th, I did attend the craft fair that was held at the Multi-Service Center. It was great to see the vendors selling their local merchandise, and it's a great way to help fundraise for the 4th of July committee that was mentioned earlier today. On November 22nd, I had a chance to record an episode of Council Connections. Gave me a chance to look back over the year to see how I've grown as a council member and to acknowledge ways that I can still help the community. So look forward to that episode being released soon. Later on that evening, I attended the inaugural gala of the Stillborn and Infant Loss Support Organization, better known as SAILS, as they celebrated 5 years of helping families deal with infant loss. It was a well-attended and beautiful event as they asked participants to wear purple or teal. So I would like to thank Ms. Sadija Smiley and her organization for that invitation to attend. Finally, this past Saturday morning, I joined the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority and the Brothers of 06 Riders, along with other volunteers in packaging and distributing food to families for Thanksgiving. So I will conclude with wishing everyone a happy and healthy Thanksgiving, and as Adrian mentioned, if you can, go support Laurel's in their 20th annual Race Against Hunger Turkey Trot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mr. President. So for November has been a fun-filled learning experience for me. November 6th through the 9th, I was at the Maryland Municipal League in Cambridge, the conference, and we were where I took many different classes, and such as bracing for municipal impact, state budget, building an inclusive municipal workforce, AI and public service, best practices for ethical and effective use, and many more classes. November 9th, I made it back home for the Mayor's Veterans Appreciation Breakfast. That was a great event, and the omelets were great as well. November 11th, that was Veterans Day flag distribution, where we were looking and planting the flags over in Ivy Hill, the cemetery, and also had the honor to meet the ladies from Rosie's. They were the women who participated in the World War II. And there was a lot of women who did that and stood strong during that time, and we appreciate them along with all veterans. November 12th through the 17th, I was at the National League of City in Tampa, Florida. This is where I took a lot more classes. That was a great event. I learned a lot and went there and represented, put the city on my back, literally. And I also was able to finally meet in 52 years my cousin, the songstress Stephanie Mills, who she said that I was her cousin, and so I'll take that to the grave. And in closing, November 24th, we had a food distribution. We gave away turkeys, Cornish hens, all type of food. We had a drive-through at the Laurel Boys and Girls Club. Then we packed up the truck, went down to the Selborne House for the seniors, and also Parkview for the seniors there. And that is my conclusion of my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. I will try to keep it brief. As it was mentioned, a lot of us have attended a lot of the same events the last 2 to 3 weeks. While we were down at the National League of Cities attending the City Summit, I had a great time going to classes, tours, and networking with other colleagues from across the country, understanding that what we have going on here in Laurel isn't just happening here in Laurel. We have a lot of the same issues happening across the country. Some highlights from my week while I was there: I was able to tour the historic district and see some of the things that they were doing, not only to restore their buildings, but to bring economic growth back to their historic Main Street in Ybor City. Also while there, I serve as a member on the Finance and Administration and Intergovernment Relations Committee. That committee focuses on lobbying policies to the federal government on behalf of all local municipalities. We adopted 8 different policies this year, some of them including census funding, making sure that the census is funded so that all municipalities, including Laurel, get the money that we are due for the residents that we have, and making sure that everybody is counted equally. There's also a big thing at the congressional level to make it easier for municipalities to get bonds so that we can borrow money easier for the big projects that we need, the roadway, the infrastructure, some of the developments that we do. I also am part of the LGBTQ+ local officials constituency group. While there, I was elected as the at-large board member for a 2-year term to the board of directors for that group. This past Thursday, the 21st, I attended an MML caucus meeting where I also serve as vice chair of that committee. Some things coming up that I wanted to highlight. We are having our holiday decorating contest. Parks and Recreation has put out the application for that. The deadline for residents to nominate themselves or their neighbors is December 13th. You can go on their social media pages or call the city to nominate your neighbors. I was driving through town the other night. It is dark and dreary out there by 5:30. Let's put some lights up and give a little bit of holiday cheer to the neighborhood this year. Finally, as we go into Thanksgiving this week, I know that this Wednesday is a big party night. Please plan to celebrate with your friends, but celebrate responsibly. Make sure you have a way to get home. Go have fun because we all want to be around the same table on Thanksgiving morning. With that, I'll hand my report over to the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to pay condolence to the family of Mrs. Sandra Briscoe. She's a former park recreation employee. I think she's working at the front desk a lot. Sad that her loss of her, Miss Sandy Briscoe. November the 7th, we attended the Fort Meade Veterans Day ceremony with Colonel Gore. She's the first African-American female to be head that command that garrison company on Fort Meade, so congratulations to her as well, her first Veterans Day ceremony. November the 9th, our Veteran Appreciation Breakfast. Many councilmen mentioned it already. Also, I went to CMIT Elementary School for Health and Wellness Fitness Day. On November the 11th, I went to Ivory Hill Cemetery for Veterans Day as well. November 13th and 16th, we attended National League of Cities. We mentioned that already. November 21st, the Secretary of Environment came here to the City of Laurel. Thanks to Ms. Blair. She did an excellent job laying out the environmental stuff we had with Park and Recs and DPW as well. So she was very satisfied. She got the road in one of the tractors that battery operated that she's pushing throughout the state. So thanks Park and Rec, Mr. Bailey, that, and Ms. Blair for putting on a good show for the Secretary of Environment. Really appreciate that. On November 23rd, mentioned this already, Chi Delta Zeta chapter, the Laurel chapter of the sorority is Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. This is our 4th year partnership with them doing Thanksgiving drive-through. They also partner with Uplift Church, 06 Motor Riders, Distinguished Pearls, and of course the City of Laurel. So this is our 4th year. Looking forward to next year as well. Later on that day, we went out to the Laurel Town Center for the annual tree lighting. That was very fun. They had a lot of hot chocolate and cookies out there, so the kids had a great time attending that ceremony as well. Some announcements right fast. City office will be closed observing Thanksgiving Day on November the 28th and November 29th. December the 2nd is City of Laurel volunteer meetings. All the volunteers that volunteer for our committees, we're going to have a meeting just to talk about some of the things going forward for the next year. Looking forward to seeing you all there. And on December the 7th is a holiday party, lighting the Christmas tree down at the Armory. And this is something new that I'm looking forward to as well. I just saw it on my notes here. The City of Laurel Winter Market at 378 Main Street. So I got to find out more about that from Economic Development Department. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I got a proclamation, Mr. President. Do you want me to do that now? Or?
Go ahead, Mayor.
Okay. Proclamation 2024-58, whereas the City of Laurel celebrate our local and small businesses and the contribution they make to our local economy and community. Now, therefore, I, Keith R. Sydnor, Mayor, City of Laurel, do hereby claim Saturday, November 30th, 2024 as Small Business Saturday in the City of Laurel and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants of Small Business Saturday, celebrating its 15th year in 2024, shop locally throughout the year. So, Mr. Burrows, looking forward to organizing these small business for Main Street and all throughout the City of Laurel.
Thank you, Mayor.
Can I get another second there, Mr. President?
Go ahead, Mayor.
Chief Police, can you come forward, please? I know there's been a lot of break-ins. You can come there. Yeah. And Chief is going to talk about some of those things for just a minute. Part of my report, I forgot to ask you. You come, turn around, Chief. There you go. Okay, gotcha.
Thank you, Mayor. So first off, for the community and for everybody here, just a couple of issues that we see going on through the next month or so for the holiday season. To dovetail off what Council President Kole mentioned, let's focus on safe driving to begin with. This is the season. We are going to be doing, we normally do a lot of engineering, education, enforcement efforts. I'm going to tell you we're going to be heavy on the enforcement efforts going forward over the next month. Beginning the night before Thanksgiving through New Year's is the worst time for alcohol-involved collisions throughout our country. We just witnessed one of our officers get struck head-on by somebody that was allegedly intoxicated. Only through the grace of God is that officer going to be okay. You saw the pictures of the cruiser. The police car was destroyed, but later that day we had another officer that was struck by a driver not paying attention to what they should have been doing. People, please start paying attention to your driving. If you strike a child and hurt them, if you strike somebody else and hurt them or kill them, you're going to live with that the rest of your life. That's a difficult thing to live with. Let's not hurt people. Let's help people. So please pay attention to your driving. And as I mentioned, we do a lot of education, engineering, enforcements for this month. So forewarned is forearmed. As for other issues that we see throughout this season, I need to ask people, please pay attention to your surroundings. We see so many people walk up to ATMs, do their business, count their money as they're walking back to their car. They don't look around when they're going up. They don't look around where they're getting their money. They don't look around when they're walking back to their car. Please pay attention. And if you see something suspicious, listen to that inner voice. Don't put yourself out in harm's way. But also call us. You will never bother us calling us about concerns you have in the community. We'll come out. We'll handle it professionally. We'll handle it constitutional policing. We'll make sure everything's okay. Maybe just one of those deals, we walk up, confirm everything's fine, and we leave, or it could be something worse going on. We'll take care of that as well. And as we saw over this weekend, we had numerous vehicles broken into in our community. So we need to ask people in the community for a couple favors here. Point back at report suspicious behavior. I will say this, recently we received a film from somebody who said they had people walking through their neighborhood at 3 a.m. in the morning trying cars. Of course, we got it the next afternoon. Call us. Don't email us. We don't police via email or text. Call the department. We will get officers out there immediately. Also, we need to ask people, please lock your cars. Please remove your valuables. Middle of the night, you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I left it. Go out there and get it. All right, because a lot of these, it's low-hanging fruit for these people that are doing this. A number of years ago, had a squad of plainclothes officers watch a couple of guys try over 100 vehicles. Just walk up, pulling the door handle. If it opened, they went in, they ransacked it. If it was locked, they just kept moving along. So please, let's help harden our target. Let's make sure we lock our stuff up. Let's make sure we take our valuables out of the car. And I can't overemphasize reporting suspicious behavior. With that, we're going to be doing some anti-crime initiatives over the next month through the holidays. Our officers will be out there in uniform and in plain clothes. So we'll be out there in force, and with the help of the community, we'll get through the holidays safely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Agenda item number 7, mayoral appointments. Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I ask the council confirmation. Tiara Matthews, community.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. I ask for council confirmation for the following individuals. Tiara Matthews, Education and Advisory Committee, assigned 11/25/2024 to 11/25/2026. Patwary, Arts Council, 11/25/2024 to 11/25/2026. And Roy Smith II, the Planning Commission, from 11/25/2024 to 11/25/2029. I ask the council's confirmation of those 3 individuals to the following committees.
Thank you, Mayor. Do I have a motion from the council?
Mr. President, I move that we accept the appointments as listed.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, council.
Agenda item number 8, general public hearing. Now is the time that we want to hear from our community. I do not have anybody signed up to speak. I will open general public hearing at 6:45 PM. With no one signed up to speak on the sheet in the back, is there anyone in the chamber that wishes to speak? Seeing none, I will close general public hearing at 6:45 PM. Agenda item number 9, second public hearing with possible action on resolution number 4-2024, a resolution of the Laurel City Council to approve a full rewrite of the council standing rules. This is the second public hearing of this resolution with over 90 different rules. The last time that the council rules were rewritten in full was 2012. The goal of these rules was not to in any way penalize anybody, but to put all of the policies and different rules that have been scattered in multiple locations over the years into one document so that it's a living document that can help not only educate the public, but educate new council members. Coming in, if you don't know Robert's Rules of Order, we put it into the council rules already. If we don't know how to fill a vacancy, it's now in the vacancy policy. Public hearing now has its own section where the time limit has been confirmed, if it's voted on tonight, at 3 minutes, as well as an additional mechanism so that if there are multiple people in the room, 5 members or more that wish to speak on the same item, they can elect one person to speak for 5 minutes to help the meeting go along faster instead of everyone getting up and saying ditto. With that, there were some changes since the first public hearing on this. The mayor had some additional comments as well as feedback from the council that have happened based on changes made at the mayor's request. So with those, all of those changes have been made and distributed to the council. We had legal review of this at the last meeting as well. I do not believe we need that at this time, but I would entertain any questions or comments from the council before I open public hearing. Go ahead, Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, President Kole. First off, I want to thank yourself and also our city clerk, Sara Green. I know you both spent many, many hours writing these. I know I personally read them 4 or 5 times, and we're talking like 8 pages, single-spaced, 11-point type. I can only imagine how many times you've been through it. So thank you for taking the effort to put this together, and also for your openness and listening to the members of council. It does cover so much, so it's only natural that everybody would have a little bit they wanted to ask about. So thank you for entertaining those and incorporating so many of those into the document. While no document's ever complete, I think my expectation is to vote in favor, as I do believe it advances the ability of this body to conduct its business and operations. One thing I do want to suggest possibly for future for the council to consider is the difference between virtual and in-person meetings. I advocate that the standard for public participation in virtual meetings should be the same as it is for in-person meetings. Just like we saw tonight, somebody could sign up at the time or even speak on an item as it comes up in the agenda. I think we can simulate that in a virtual environment. So it's something I'd like to see us consider in the future. To me, the most important people in the room sit out there or sit there at home. We want to create a space for them to come. We want to protect that space for them to come and to say something when they need to be able to. So I just want to encourage that going forward. But other than that, thank you so much. I know it was a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Additional comments from the council? Hearing none, I will open general public hearing on resolution number 4-2024 at 6:49 PM. There is no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone in the chamber wishing to speak on this agenda item? Seeing none, I close general public hearing at 6:50 PM. With that, I will entertain a motion from the council.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the council rules as submitted.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Kole,
Yes,
Mayor Sydnor.
I concur.
Motion carries.
thank you. Agenda item number 10, possible adjournment to closed session under the Maryland Open Meetings Act, provision sections 3 305B subsection 3 to consider the acquisition of real property for the public purpose and matters directly related thereto in order to protect the mayor and city council's bargaining power, and section 3-305B subsection 7 to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice regarding the potential purchase of real property. With that, I will entertain a motion for the council to enter closed session.
Mr. President, I motion that we enter closed session.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes?
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Before we adjourn, the following statement is made regarding the possible adjournment of the mayor and city council to closed session on this date. The mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland will adjourn to closed session during the November 25th, 2024 regular meeting scheduled for 6 p.m. The statutory authority to close the session is contained within the Open Meetings Act General Provisions, Section 3-305B, subsection 3, to consider the acquisition of real property for a public purpose and matters directly related thereto in order to protect the mayor and city council's bargaining power, and section 3-305B, subsection 7, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice regarding the potential purchase of real property. At this time, the council will adjourn to the conference room off the council chamber. The meeting does remain open. When we come back out, we will come back into open session and continue the rest of this agenda for the evening. Is Laurel TV ready? Right. Just got the green light. Laurel TV is ready. The council will return to open session at 7:10 PM. Agenda item number 11, election of the president. I will turn this over to our clerk. The clerk conducts all elections of the president.
Mr. President, we'll open the floor to nominations for council president.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Clark, Ms. Clark, for president.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Councilman Mills?
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark?
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark?
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you to my council members, my colleagues, for voting me in. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Madam President, you'll need to select a president pro tem now.
For the position of pro temp, I would like to select Council Member Jeffrey Mills.
The meeting is now yours.
Councilman Mills, do you want to accept the appointment?
I'll accept.
If the council could also come down, the mayor as well. We have a presentation for our council president. Are extremely grateful for you. During the moments that we didn't know what you had to do, the nights you had to stay up late. Also, thank you to our clerk as well, and Miss Carolyn. Thank you for taking the time to make sure that we were informed, to make sure that we knew things that were going on, to get input, and everything else that you did that we did not know about. It takes a lot of time that people don't know about, so we appreciate you, and we just want to thank you. This is from all of us. Since you love your gavel so much, it says, presented to James Kole, in appreciation for your leadership on the City Council, Council President, City of Laurel, Maryland, 2023 to 2024.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this. I mean, I think you guys have heard me talk enough over the last year. I'm here to help with whatever questions you have. I'm not going anywhere.
Congratulations, man.
If there is no more business before the council, the meeting is now adjourned.